What's up everyone, and welcome to a new amazing Ninjago Dragons Rising 4 video. In today's video we will talk about what I think will happen in Ninjago Rising 4 episode 3 and also the new trailer that was just released. I will talk about the details that you most likely missed out on since there are many good details. This trailer is 1.5 minutes long and it has many good details. But I just want to sneak in something before this video starts, and that is that these videos I make take so long to create. There is so much work behind them, so I would really appreciate if you could subscribe. That's literally my biggest dream ever, to have a big YouTube channel. It's so easy for you just to press that subscribe button. I know that every YouTuber says this, but it really helps me out. And I really need to get some subscribers to get some support. If you don't want to get a lot of notifications, you can use subscribe and then don't turn on the bell. It's just for showing your support to me, since it's literally my biggest dream ever and I think about it every day. One thing that you might also notice is that I talk slower in this video, and that is because I got many complaints that I talk too fast. So I've taken that to my heart and now I talk slower. And the question of the day is, do you prefer when I talk fast or slow? Answer that in the comments. And also leave a like and hype this video. And now let's start the video. We will start by talking about this trailer that was recently released. It starts off with this scene of the monastery. Then we see Lord Aaron and Freya running in the Whispering Woods, and Lord is jumping really high, like whoa. Then we see this scene with the Art Dragon of Life that we have seen many times before. Then we see this scene where we literally can see these trees in the Whispering Woods growing. I wonder if this is a scene from Lloyd's adventure or not. Then we see a more detailed scene of Lloyd being tangled up by these veins. Then we can see Lloyd, Aaron and Freya and Zane talking to each other, and it looks like that they're making up a plan. Then we see Lloyd with these vines standing in front of some lake, and this has to be on his solo mission. And here Zane tells Lloyd good luck before his big mission. We also learn that this mission is extremely important for the Whispering Woods, because if Lloyd doesn't succeed, there will be no more Whispering Woods. We see this giant place, and here is the door where Lloyd goes inside to start his solo mission. Here is when Lloyd's starting it, and we see Kid Lloyd again, and it feels so weird to see him again, and in the redesign also. We see them talk with each other, and I really wonder if Kid Lloyd is really there, or if it's just made up by Lloyd's mind, or made up by the Whispering Woods. We see the version of Lloyd in this tree that Lloyd missed out on because he drank the Tomorrow's Tea. They even mention Tomorrow's Tea in this trailer, which I think is really cool, that they make some reference to the OG Ninjago, and that they take up some OG Ninjago lore. I think they also will mention in this adventure more about how Lloyd became the Green Ninja and the prophecy about the Green Ninja. And maybe we also get to know more about the golden weapons. And I really want to know more about the previous Green Ninjas. I've heard rumors that Misako could be a previous Green Ninja, and that was why she was away when Lloyd was little, doing her duty like all the other previous ninjas to protect the Whispering Woods. And that will also explain that Misako knew that Lloyd was going to be the Green Ninja before everyone else. But that wouldn't explain why Wu didn't know who would be the Green Ninja. I mean, if Misako was a previous Green Ninja, who would have known that for sure, or at least Garmadon. But the rumors have heard that Misako was a previous Green Ninja and that Lloyd got his powers from her, and then his golden powers from Garmadon, or maybe the first Benitsu Master. Since we know that elemental powers can skip through one generation exactly like it did with Griffin Turner. I mean, the golden ninja had the powers of the first Benitsu Master, so maybe this is true, that he got the golden powers from the first Benitsu Master through Garmadon. We also know that Lloyd's OG voice actor from OG Ninjago, and with OG Ninjago I mean from season 1 until season 7, and she will be back and play Kid Lloyd again. And we know that Kid Lloyd will be in this season quite a lot. Then we see a fast shot of Lloyd, and then we see an old scene that we've seen before about Euphrasia using her powers, but then they suddenly stop working. Then we see two earth monsters, and they are charging up their powers, and that is cool, that they have powers that they can use. This means that every elemental monsters have powers, but we have actually seen the mutation monster using his powers. But I guess now that all has powers. Something that will be cool to see is the fire monster using his powers. So far we have actually seen all elemental monsters except for the energy monster and also a balance monster, but we don't know yet if there will be any balance monster. But in the intro we can see all the elemental monsters, but no energy monster and no balance monster. So this really makes me thinking if there are any. But I mean, there has to be one, right? It would be weird if it wasn't one. I mean, at least an energy monster. I can absolutely understand why there isn't a balance monster, but why no energy monster? Anyways, next up we can see that scene that we've seen before with Lloyd trying to use his powers, but it fails. Then we can see Lloyd being screamed at by Kid Lloyd on his mission. Then we can see this tree where Lloyd is jumping in the big tree, and this scene we have seen many times before. Then we can see a scene of the Art Dragon of Life being stripped of her powers. This means that this has to be after the loyalists stripped the Whispering Woods of its energy, and it looks like it took extremely much damage on her, because she got totally stripped of her powers and just falls down. This has to be from Ninjago Rising season 4 episode 3. I think this will be the episode when the loyalists drain the power from the Whispering Woods, and I think it will happen in episode 3, since I think we will get some screen time of the Art Dragon of Life before she gets stripped of her powers. Then we can see Aaron lying down knocked out. Next to him is Euphrasia and Zane, and they are standing up and taking care of him. And in the background we can see the Art Dragon of Life, and this has to be after Lloyd left for his solo mission. And we also know that Aaron will be fine since he has his old clothes on, and we see him later with his new clothes on. Then we see Kid Lloyd taking down Lloyd, and it looks like they are fighting and Kid Lloyd is mad at him. Then we see Aaron and Euphrasia standing with these little guys, and one of them is totally drained of its energy, but it turns green and they look happy, so I guess he turns back to normal. Then we see Lloyd falling from a big tree, and Kid Lloyd is catching him and saving him. Then we see Lloyd falling and he's totally glowing. He's glowing completely green. I guess his powers are being boosted here or something. Then we see him with Kid Lloyd. He's falling through the ground and turns into some green thing, and then he falls down in some sky and it cracks, and there's another black sky behind him. Then we get this scene that we have seen before of Lloyd falling into the water. Then we see Lloyd catching a sword at the monastery at night, Then we see Lloyd standing on this scroll, and this looks like the original green ninja scroll from OG Ninjago. Maybe these 4 trees around are the 4 main ninjas, and the one in the middle is Lloyd, especially since he's standing on it. Then we see this scene of Lloyd jumping towards the Element's Master, and this scene we have seen before. Then we have this scene with Lloyd floating over some blue glowing water with many vines around him. Then we see Lloyd literally floating, and what's interesting here is that Lloyd's eyes turn purple, exactly like his eyes were when he turned into an Oni during crystallized. Is this a hint that Lloyd will turn into an Oni again? Maybe his second true potential has something to do with his Oni form. We know that Lloyd is 50% human, 25% dragon, and 25% Oni. When he got to his first true potential, he got a dragon and golden powers and destroyed the Overlord. Maybe he'll turn into Oni to defeat Ra's Master, and maybe this is a hint that Oni will have a bigger role in the newer Ninjago Rising seasons. Maybe Ra's Master is a Source Oni. Well, except if it's not Sarkar. I mean, it's most likely going to be Sarkar, but anyways, it would be really cool with a Source Oni. I really hope that we'll see more Oni scenes and Lloyd's Oni form, since we basically saw nothing of it in crystallized. Then we see Lloyd losing his green glow and just falls to the ground. Then we see Lloyd fighting the Earth Monster, and this little guy joins in, and the Earth Monster is using his powers and shoot at them. Then finally, we see the trees in the Whispering Woods being powered up, and then we see this green orb glows and floats around, and then it goes right into Lloyd and totally boosts powers like crazy. But that was the final for this trailer. This trailer was very epic and focused a lot of Lloyd and his special duty in the Whispering Woods. And we know that this duty is very important for the Whispering Woods. That was everything for today's video, and I hope that you liked it. There was a lot to talk about this new trailer. But now, I will say everything that I think will happen in Ninjago Dragon 4 episode 3. I think we'll start off with us seeing Lloyd going away on his solo mission, and I think this will also be the episode when the Loyalist group stripes the Whispering Woods of its powers. I think this episode will most likely focus on the Whispering Woods, and it will be very much censored about that. I don't think that we will see many scenes with Sora's team and Kai's team. I don't think that we will have many scenes with Sora and Kai's team, but I hope that we at least will see more about this strange land that Sora and his teams are in. We have seen more about these strange plates in many trailers, but I don't think Ninjago Dragon 4 episode 3 will be the one that we see much about it. I think that will be in episode 2, but I think episode 3 will also be very much Loyalist focused. I also think that we'll see more about Cole, what he's up to. I think that we'll go after the Loyalist group to stop them. We know that both Raz and Cole are in the monastery, but I don't think Cole will go after us, and I don't think Raz will be in episode 3, because Cole will focus on the Loyalist group instead and go after them. We know that Dr. Lavro is the Loyalist leader, but I don't think this will be revealed in episode 3 obviously. I think that she will be revealed later on in Ninjago Dragon 4 part 1. But we also know that the Loyalist plans will of course not be followed down in Ninjago Dragon 4 episode 3. We know that Cole will be alone, and I really wonder why he leaves Raz in the monastery and just go outside and not deal with Raz. But I hope we'll get all these answers in the 3rd episode. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and leave a subscribe to my channel, since these videos I make take so long to create, and it's my biggest dream to have a big YouTube channel. It would mean the world to me if you could help me out. It's super easy for you to do, and it helps me out so much. And if you're watching till now, I know that you enjoyed this video, so why not subscribe? And also hype the video, and of course, don't forget to answer the question of the day, which is, do you prefer when I talk fast or slow? I really want to know this, so you really have to leave a comment. You want me to talk slow, fast, or middle? I can talk faster like this in my next video, or anything. Leave a comment so I can know. But thanks for watching until now, and as you know, if you don't subscribe, this will probably be the last time we see each other, and that's really sad, because we had a great time together. But anyways, that was all from me today. Bye. Whoa, you're still here? Well then subscribe and watch either of these 2 videos.